What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the Acura Audio Garage. I know I haven't posted a video in a little bit. No, I haven't quit YouTube. No, I haven't retired. Our shop is still operational. Business is still operational. It's just been, life gets in the way. I'll explain more later. But in this video, we're going to be covering the 9-inch Android screen for your Acura TL. If you're wondering what I'm talking about, you haven't seen the other video. This came out a couple of months ago, maybe last year at this point. And it is a screen that goes where your factory navigation goes, or where your factory HVAC audio display goes, and it gives you Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, the ability to add a backup camera. Has a bunch of functionality. Now, in my last video, I said that the next video would be a full review. I haven't gotten there yet. Life has kind of gotten in the way. I haven't been driving this car as much. I haven't been able to spend time making content or really diving into reviews. But I did take note of all the feedback, write down all the questions that you have, and this video is for you guys to answer your questions. So we'll go through the setup that this has when they ship it to you, the setup that we created, and then some of the little caveat, little things we have found. Also, the seller of this thing, or at least the seller we bought from, is continuing to develop software for it. So a lot of this Android screen stuff comes down to CAN bus information. We'll cover that all later on. Just know it's a continuing development. Just like the Tesla screen when it first came out, it wasn't the best, and they continued to develop it, and now it's like an all right platform. This Android screen, I really think, is going to be the game changer once all the software is figured out. All right, let's take a look at the screen. So here's the default experience. Remember, this is a base model, so my clock is up there. This does nothing now. This controls the volume. And then this will play music. This will do everything. And the steering wheel control this. So that's the basic setup. I'm gonna show you the advanced setup, or the setup we came up with. This is an 0405. This is a 2004 Acura TL. We're going to change some things, and we're going to use the 0708 harness, or the high level harness that comes with this product. We're not going to use the low level harness. This default experience I don't like at all. You don't see your climate information. The audio does not retain this, so we're going to change that. I'm going to show you how. If this is the first video you're seeing on a 9-inch screen, we covered where to buy it, how to get it, etc. It's going to come in this box. It's coming from China. At least the seller we bought from is in China. There are multiple variations, multiple versions at this point, and it gets a lot more complex. More on that later, but I just wanted to give you a heads up of where to buy it, where to get it, because that's usually the #1 question. A little Easter egg for those of you who have been a subscriber to this channel for a while. This is the same exact car we did the Acura Tesla screen review video in, and you can compare my dash from that video to this video, man. And life, there's a good reputation of life, what it will do to you, man. It's gonna keep going whether you want to or not. All right, but first things first, I drove this car yesterday. Why is my screen not turning on? There we go. Okay, that took a little bit. Usually it doesn't take that long to turn on. That boot took a little longer than normal. Usually it's pretty fast. If the car has been sitting for a while though, the boot time is going to be a lot longer. So a cold boot is about 7 to 8 seconds. A soft boot's about 3 seconds. Sometimes it's almost instant, depending on the status of the tablet where you left off. Now, here, this is what gets replaced. This is a all-in-one unit, meaning these buttons are not the factory buttons. These are aftermarket buttons with an aftermarket bezel. The only thing that stays factory is this screen down here and your clock up here. The other thing, this is a base model Acura TL. So this from the factory had the normal screen here and the clock. What I have done is I have adapted the HVAC display from a navigation model. I'll show you how to do that. And I have also set it up to retain the factory radio. 9-inch Android screen. Below this is a traditional Android screen. I'll show you the disassembly later. Let me just actually talk about the feature set. So this, the version I have, has 4 gigabytes of RAM, 64 gigabytes of storage. It has the ability to add a SIM card. It has USB ports, has wireless and wired CarPlay. I'm not going to get into those features just yet. That'll be later on in the video. What I want to talk to you about right now is integration or factory setup. So, like I said, we adapted the navigation sub display. That gave me the temperature and the time up here. So here's my time. It's 2:32 in the afternoon. Here's my temp, and also my wind speed and direction. Now normally this, if you do not have navigation, will just be the little clock, and your temperature and the climate will show up here. Right now it's not working, I have to set it into the car, but that's the functionality that you expect, is for the climate to show here. This will just have the time. The other thing that is different is that, the other part that is different from our setup is that normally this provides all audio to your factory amplifier. So this, I'm gonna just play music real quick. Let me just get this screen to come down. So this right here will provide audio signal directly to the factory amplifier. That means it eliminates this right here. So this will do nothing, this will do nothing, this volume knob will do nothing. We have modified the way that audio is sent into the factory system so that audio comes out of this screen to the factory radio to the factory amplifier. By doing that, we now have the functionality or ability to do this. So right now I'm listening to my tablet. Let's say I don't want to listen to the tablet. I actually right now, the way I'm feeling is I don't want to see it. I'm going to turn it off. I'm driving at night. I want to listen to a radio station. I want to listen to my CD. So I'm going to hit AM, FM, and that's the radio. The limitation here is I have no idea what is playing, and this is something we aim to fix. I hope to fix by the end of the video, but I'm showing to you exactly where we're at now. So right now I have no idea what's playing or how loud it is. As I turn this knob, I can guess which radio station it is, and it's the same for my CD. I can put my CD in. I have no indication of which CD is playing and what song is playing or at what time the song is at. I can make it louder or quieter. I can change the track. I can still use my steering wheel controls to control the volume of the factory radio. So now I have two volume controls. I have the volume control that is here. Let me bring you back there. So I have this volume control, and that's only for the tablet. Most of the time you're going to leave this on 34. Then I have this volume control and this volume control, which are linked together. I think that's the ideal setup, but you can set it up, or it comes with the setup where these steering wheel controls, work this and this only, and that's because this is responsible for all the audio. What ends up happening is you keep this radio here, but it is just a dead radio that does nothing. Now remember, we're talking about a 2004, 2005, 2006 Acura TL. A 2007 or 2008 Acura TL will be different. It will have aux, and it will work how the setup we've accomplished in our 2004, 2005, 2006 does, where you do retain the factory audio system and the factory stereo in your 07, 08. But back to my 04, 05, 06 gang, because that's the majority of people with an Acura TL that are making modifications. Again, I can adjust the volume. I can have maps up, so I can have my, hold on, let me put Google Maps. So I can have Google Maps or my navigation app going, and I can listen to the radio or my CD. I can also then decide, you know what, I want to watch YouTube and listen to YouTube. I would then hit XM, and the audio from the screen would play through the system. This is set up because of the harnesses we used, and it eliminates the factory XM. So if you listen to XM radio, you will lose that functionality. If you're in Canada, you're going to have to get an aux input because you do not have an XM tuner to intercept audio. So that's important to remember too. If you're in Canada, you don't have XM, this button probably won't even be here. I forget what, I think it might say aux, I don't remember 100%. So that covers our setup right now. and this is what it looks like. It looks very clean, it looks very nice. These buttons are a little clanky, but everything updates the way that it should. And let me show you how it works. So if you have factory navigation, you're gonna be used to this setup where like you hit the button and you look up there for the climate and the temperature change and your mode, etc., your front defroster, rear defroster, AC on and off. Everything shows up there. There is a bug or something I have found that isn't working correctly with my version of software, the CAN bus box that I have. You see it says scan up there. That's an audio thing, it's not an AC thing. So I did have an instance where my volume information showed up here, and so did my audio information. When I hit XM, it said XM input, or I forgot exactly what it said up there, but I've gotten information show up there. There is some troubleshooting to this. The problems we're going to encounter going forward are software and CAN bus related. So the CAN bus box, I'll show it to you later on, translates messages between the factory system, so the factory HVAC and the factory radio, and allows them to be converted to something your Android screen can read. And the way you're able to see or read that information is through an app called Vehicle Setting. And in here you can see the information. Now I am going to set this into the car properly. This is crucial that you do when you set up. We covered it in the other video, but you want to go into settings, you want to go into factory 3368, hit confirm. Then you want to go into car model, and they told me that it should be RZZ Honda, where is it, Odyssey, and then 2009 to 2014. I know this is not a Honda Odyssey, but that's what I was told to use as the settings for this system, so that I can go into now the app we talked about, which is Vehicle Setting, and I should be able to have my information show here. Like you see, this volume should update, the track info should change, and that's where I'm at now. I'm going to dismantle my system and show you the wiring and the changes that need to be made. But before that, let's just take some beauty shots, some B-roll footage, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. You get to see what it looks like real quick. Let me hook that up so you can see, because I know that's super important to people. So you're going, once you plug in your phone, you're going to get this right here. You're going to hit allow. Then that will allow this to enable CarPlay. The thing is, at least in my use case, the screen had 2 USBs. I only ran one of them. The other one I left behind the screen, and I needed to plug into this USB to get my CarPlay to work. But this is what CarPlay looks like. I'm going to actually disconnect now, and I'm going to let it connect wirelessly. I just got to make sure that turn my Bluetooth off, turn that off, right? I'm gonna turn my Bluetooth on. Come on, turn Bluetooth on. It then should connect, and after connecting, it should prompt me to enable wireless CarPlay. So you see now it says connecting, verification approved, and come on. It took a little bit, but eventually it went wireless. So you can see no wire. It's working off this phone. This is what CarPlay looks like. You can see there is some glares on the screen because of just the design of the screen. I'm going to show you. I have the brightness all the way up, and that is, it looks good, but there is some glares. And then when you turn the headlights on, it dims as it's supposed to. But this is CarPlay. You get your maps, you get your music, phone, etc. There just is no video. Let's say you have CarPlay, you want to get out of CarPlay, you just hit back, you're back here. You want to get back into CarPlay, you're gonna hit CarLink. All right guys, so Android Auto is real simple. You're just going to plug in your phone via USB. Just make sure it's unlocked. Then it's just going to come up. Google Maps is disabled, so you can't see my location. But here is what Android Auto looks like. You can see it also has a little bit of a glare, just because of the screen the way it is. There is a setting to disable side-by-side like this, but it's up to you if you like it or you don't like it. This is Android Auto. This is what it looks like. And again, both CarPlay and Android Auto are not controlled by any of this stuff. So if I hit next here, any of this does not do it. The volume is controlled here, so keep that in mind, that you still can control the volume here, but this won't change the song. This will not do anything here. If you want to control the screen is only controlled by your touch. So I changed the song just like that, and that's what Android Auto looks like in a nutshell. And then if you don't want to use Android Auto or Apple CarPlay, you do have Bluetooth, so you can use Bluetooth streaming to play music. You can use also Bluetooth calling to make phone calls, etc. And you can install apps. This does have the Play Store, so you can download apps after you sign in, and it does come loaded with YouTube, but usually it's an older version of YouTube, and it won't play any videos right away. It needs to do a bunch of downloading, etc. But that's gonna cover I think the big features you're looking for. Now let's break down the setup and answer your questions about how to make this possible for you. I almost forgot, for wireless Android Auto, once it's set up, you can just disconnect your phone, and then it's eventually going to, hold on, let me pair my Bluetooth. So you go into Bluetooth, it's off, I'm gonna turn it on. It's called SYU Android. It's already paired on my phone, so it'll just come up for me. Where the heck? It's connecting. I don't want to do my call history. It's still connecting. Give it a couple seconds. It's setting up your phone. You can see some icons changed, and just like that, you have wireless Android Auto working. So wireless CarPlay, wireless Android Auto, wired, and so you have wired and wireless CarPlay and Android Auto. The other thing is, this is specific to this screen. Depending on how much you spend for the one you purchase, you're gonna have features that this one has or doesn't have. So you want to be aware. I put in the first video the exact one I bought and how much it was, so you can duplicate exactly what I have here in front of me. Alright YouTube, this is the part where you really have to pay attention, and you might want to re-watch this multiple times. So this screen is a all-in-one device. It is a new actual mechanism or piece of equipment that you replace and install onto the factory bracket. Here is my original OEM display. The entire display gets replaced, and you can see these buttons and everything are completely different. So some people have thought that this is maybe just a screen you like place on top. No, it is a complete separate device. Now let's get to the point of the video of what you came here for. This is the factory clock. This is what was in my car originally. This is what I replaced. You see that little connector is not the same as the connector for the audio HVAC display or sub display, whatever you want to call it. This is completely different. The part numbers are separate. They're different. The housings are interchangeable. So if you find just the little screen, you can put it onto this, meaning like this white piece and this white piece are the exact same dimensions and screw the same, but they're different, like obviously in the front. So when you want to take this and convert it to this, whether on the Tesla screen or this screen, this is the harness you're looking for. The one caveat to this harness is that it needs a ground. So this black wire needs to be hooked up to ground. In the Android screen connection, the connector that this plugs into has a ground. You can see clearly that black is a ground. So this works out perfectly. But if not, this black wire would have to go to ground. Then this other side plugs right into here. And this harness right here is what allows this display to be driven by the new screen, or by the Tesla screen because I know people have asked. They have the connector that lines up. This is only if you have a base model. If you have a navigation model, you already have something like this in your car, so you don't have to worry. I'm talking to base models 04 to 08. Now this harness, I'm sure you want to know how to make it. I'm going to show you. I'm going to tell you also that this is on sale with the other harness that is part of this equation, but let me show you the part numbers in case you want to make it yourself. So this plug right here, this big green plug, is this part number right here. It's the ILAG522SD3C1. You're going to have to add wire and terminate that wire, put it in the right spots, and then it's going to match to these, which are the other ones, and these are the ILAG510S-SC3C1. And here are my wire colors. So you can see I have orange, orange, black, red, white, gray, black, brown, black, gray, white. And then those wires all end up here in different locations. You see orange, orange, black, blah, blah, blah. So this harness is what enables this display. This is available. This, I feel like it's no brainer. You can easily see the audio you can easily see the climate control information right away without having to look at the screen, which is annoying to hit a button to have to see it. This is automatic. I feel like you should pick this up right now, not even try and sell it to you. I just think it makes sense. It just makes the experience so much better when you have this screen. This one is up to you. This is the audio harness so that you can retain the factory radio. So normally when they send you this unit, the harness for an 0406 runs the audio directly in the car. That's now how I set mine up. Instead, what I did is my tablet feeds audio to the factory stereo through this harness. So in the car, the factory XM connection plugs into here. This plugs into my radio, and then when I want to listen to the tablet, I hit XM because that's where the audio input is. And here's version 1 of that harness right here. So now version 2, these will line up. I know they're male and female, but you'll get the right ones. So that's this harness. These two you can buy independently or together all at once if you want to duplicate exactly what I've done. Now the last change to get the functionality exactly how you saw is for the steering wheel controls. You want the steering wheel controls to control this factory stereo and not the aftermarket screen. And for that connection, you're going to want to disrupt this steering wheel control wire. This is the harness that it also comes in the box for an 07, 08 or a high level. We're going to go over the modifications that need to be made to this harness for it to work the way that you want it to. First things first, this white wire is not going to be here, so you're going to need to add it. These terminals you can find online. You can steal this wire from a Honda Accord T harness or a Metra harness. I'll put the part number up. If you buy the combo of harnesses from us, we will send you this little extra wire. So keep that in mind. You're going to open this locking mechanism up. It's going to pop open like that. This will slide up like that. You're going to slide the already terminated wire into place. It'll click. It'll stay in. You'll put this back. Then there is a green-white wire. There is a green-white wire that is coming out of the blue plug right here, green-white, and it runs to here, green-white, on the white plug that goes into the CAN bus box. This wire from the factory comes together. You're going to cut it, and this side that goes to the connector for the CAN bus, you do nothing with, you leave it short. The side that comes out of the blue plug, you connect with the new white wire you just inserted, green wire, whatever color wire it turns out to be. And ultimately all you did was make this green wire a whole wire that goes into here. I know the wires are different colors, but for the purpose of what you did is you made that wire whole, and that's the whole thing to keep your steering wheel controls working for the factory stereo. So that's step one. Step two is you're going to take this harness. I took the camera wires out and other wires out that are irrelevant for me out of here, and you are going to plug in the new harness that you bought from us or you made yourself. I put the part numbers here, I'll throw them up again. Right here, this is the 22 pin. Right here, this is the 10 pin. And I'll put a diagram of how they go together. But this harness will now plug into this connector, so green to green, and this will now plug in to the new HVAC display. Now you can see your climate information. Now, in order to get the audio information from the factory stereo to show on the new 9-inch screen, so the volume information, the CD, all that information, the radio information, what stereo you're on, to get that to show, you're going to need this conversion harness, and this is green, and this is green. This is blue, so that's the confusing part. You already hooked up the green, now you're hooking up the blue to the green, and this hooks up to the car, and this hooks up to the car. The reason for this conversion harness is because in your 04, 05, 06 you won't have this connector. If you have an 07, 08 that's a base model, you will have this connector. This harness is not necessary. So then that's really it. The other part is you would take your XM interception harness, plug it into the back of the radio, and then these RCAs from that harness are going to plug into audio left out and audio R out. So this to this, this to this, and then it hooks up to your radio, and now that is all the harnessing necessary to achieve the setup that we have in the car that I showed you. I know there are multiple steps and that it seems complicated. Follow the video step by step, one step at a time. You will get it done. There's a lot of harnesses, there's a lot of connectors. It's very confusing if this is your first time. So really set apart some time to do this. If you need help, reference the video. I am trying to make it as concise and as clear as possible. Now the last step to all of this is software. We are still working with the seller to make sure that all the features that are supposed to work the right way. If you have a 2007, 2008 Acura TL with navigation, you are blessed. All this stuff just kind of works. Your factory backup camera does not. You can retain your factory backup camera with our backup camera retention harness, so you do have the ability to do that. But for the rest of it, all these plugs are going to match up. You're not going to need any conversion harnesses. You have navigation. You already have that display. These are just going to plug in. This is just going to plug in. Its installation is going to be very sweet, very easy, and you use aux to listen to the tablet. It may not sound the best. You can change to the XM if you want, but it's just basically the car that they designed this product for is an 07, 08 Type S. I can see it in the videos. I'm going to play videos of what they sent me so you have reference as well. I hope that so far I've answered all your questions about the setup and how you want it to work. Now I'm going to answer questions regarding functionality. So in my other video, I promised to do a lot of functionality tests. I have not gotten there. As you can see, time and limited software has not made it possible for me to fully dig in. The reason why I have been away is I had a baby. I got married, had a baby. Life happened. I am blessed. I am happy. I am working. Don't get me wrong. I still work. I just don't do YouTube as much. I've been live streaming to try to answer some customer questions, so I'm still around. I'm still going to be working on these videos. It's just hard to find the time. Like today, I spent all this Saturday doing this. I still have to edit, so it's still, there's still some stuff left to do. So for all the effort I've done, I ask that you like the video, subscribe, buy the harnesses if you want it. Now back to functionality. So one of the main things currently right now is if you follow this setup, you will not be able to put in the code for the radio. So normally on this screen it will say code when the radio has died or lost power. That will not be an option. You'll have to know to hit power, type in your code, and listen for the beep that the radio has activated. If not, you can sit there putting the radio code in and it will never actually turn on the radio. So that's a huge issue. Issue number 2, currently the software that I have, again, I am not blaming the seller, it's the software I have, the setup I have so far, is not working how it works on this video I'm about to show you. You can see the volume, you can see they're working it how I would want this system to work when I'm done with it. But because I believe, since I don't have factory navigation and mine's an 04, 05, 06 model, that there are some little things that need to be tweaked or some wiring changes that need to be made, and I'm going to continue to work on this to make this work. I will say this, I do recommend picking up the radio. I recommend making the changes that we made and living right now with the limited functionality of the factory stereo. You can still listen to your CDs, you can still listen to the radio. Just got to remember, put in the code. You can leave this in your glove box and unplug it and plug it when you need to. That will allow you to see the code info and stuff. So that might be a possibility as well. But alright, back to functionality. So that's one huge limiting thing you can't currently see. You can't put in the code. The other thing that may be limited or concerning for some people is audio quality and sound in general. This is going to feed audio to the factory system. The factory system has its own EQ curve. You will lose some audio compared to regular stereo. So if you play an FM radio station that has good reception and you play the tablet, usually the FM radio station has better sound, and that's because of the EQ of the internals of the factory stereo. So you can combat that by EQing the Android screen or changing your amp. The plug and play amp does work with this setup. That's what's in the car currently. It sounds really good. There are a few little tweaks that need to be made within the tablet to get the best sound, and if you guys want a video on that, let me know. I can make a video on those tweaks. I'm going to start editing this video, go back and read the comments from all the other videos and make sure I answered those questions. I hope that I made the actual wiring stuff clear. The harnesses will be listed along with the video on our website. These are all handmade harnesses, meaning like I actually have to sit here and terminate the wires and pin them and stuff. So they are going to take time. They are going to be a little bit more expensive than if I could just tell a warehouse, or not a warehouse, a production house, hey, here's the diagram for this harness, make it for me, I need 1,000. So I doubt 1,000 of you are going to order, so they're going to be made by hand. They're going to take a little bit more time. If you want a video on how to do the harness yourself exactly, let me know. I'll be willing to make a video on that. I gave you the part numbers. You're going to have to match the terminals. You're going to have to get wire. It is an involved process in making one of these. So you might just want to buy it, or if you're in another country, you want to make it. I will throw a diagram on the screen of how where this pin here ends up on this pin here, etc. But if you wanted a step-by-step video on how to make that harness, then I'm going to ask that you subscribe, make sure you like, and I will put that video together for you. But alright, let me get to editing, and then we'll talk post after I'm done editing with some of the comments, or I'll answer some more questions. Alright guys, so here is the screen, fully separate from the radio. It's just a screen. This is what you buy.
I want to show you something. If I remove these 4 screws and these 5 screws, it's actually 6 screws, I'm able to separate the screen from the control panel. So now that screws off, that screws off. I can lift this up and out. I just gotta be careful with my wires. Oh, I'm gonna have to disconnect my wires. So I'm gonna disconnect that. I'm going to disconnect this, and now I can lift this up, and I can lift my screen up and out. So there you go. This is just a 9-inch Android screen. This is a frame that they sell you for it, and this has the control board that I was talking about. So you can buy just this. This is listed on AliExpress, and then use your own 9-inch Android screen. The big thing is you're going to need their harness, and you're going to need a CAN bus box that has the right software on it. So those are all super important for this to work correctly. But as you can see, this is just a regular 9-inch screen. We are working on developing our own 9-inch screen. So here's one that we are testing. And that's what I'm saying. You can see these are identical. This does look like a better screen, but look at the back. They are almost the same. And that's what I wanted to show you, that if at some point you do buy this, but you buy the cheaper version, because here is the actual breakdown of what it has, you can then swap later on as long as you have the right CAN bus box. That's going to wrap up the video. I'm going to play now the questions from YouTube. It's a long clip. Feel free to watch it all. You can go on YouTube and research the questions yourself. Also, I am making a members only video that will release on the regular channel in maybe 2 weeks. That's going to provide just a few more details on the screen. I'm doing it that way because I did not realize I even had members, and they deserve something valuable that I have not been giving them. So I'm making a members only video. If you are not a member, don't worry. In about 2 weeks or maybe a month, they'll release on this channel. You can watch it for free, but I am going to do that for my members. I honestly had no idea. Thank you guys so much. People that have been members for months have not even said anything, have not told me anything. I forgot I even set that up, so I really appreciate that. And thanks for watching the video, guys. And now I'm going to roll the clip for those questions. Before I forget, make sure you run your microphone when you install this, because the mic goes through this hole through here, so people cannot hear what you're saying. This blocks the audio. I've gotten into numerous yelling matches, not yelling matches, but I've gotten into me yelling over the phone at my wife because she cannot hear me, because this microphone cannot pick it up, because this is over the screen. I did not install the microphone the first time. I will the second time. I highly recommend you do if you plan on using this for any Bluetooth calling. But alright, I just want to make sure I mentioned that, because that will bite you in the butt later on. When is the video coming out for the Acura TL CarPlay Navi replacement? It's coming out on Super Bowl Sunday. I don't know how to spell Super Bowl. Oh, it's 2 words. Okay. So the upper display does not work correct, and what about the buttons for the fan, recirculating mobile robot? Do they work? This is for the Tesla screen. Yes, they do work. And you can make the upper display work with our harness. Check out our newest video. Hey bro, I'm connecting. That's not regarding this, not regarding this, not regarding this. Is there a way to use the factory OS where they just love the audio process? Yes, you can with the XM aux harness we have created. You can see how it works in our new video. Will the 9-inch Android screen ever have decent sound quality with the 3G TL and RCA cables? I feel like it doesn't sound nearly as good as an XM station or a CD. We cover this in our video. There are some tweaks that can be made that can be made to the settings of the tablet to get better sound. If great sound is your ultimate goal, you might want to run the tablet with an aftermarket radio instead. This is possible as well. Big O, yes sir. Where do I buy it? The link is in our main video. You are the GOAT. Appreciate that. Wish there was an option like this for 0718 on CarPlay. Don't want to lose skill functions. There is an option like this. Please check out our latest video. I should be adding the link to the video, but it hasn't been uploaded yet, so I can't link them. Where do you find the code? Yeah, that guy can go figure it out himself. We have a video on how to do that. I have an Acura what kind of Pioneer. This was a DMH 1500 NEX. Okay, here we go. Alright, this is a subscriber. What did he say? He says, thanks for all your time making these videos. I have subbed to your channel and I'm having trouble finding a follow-up video. I'm there, serious one. I just purchased a 2008 base model 85K. It's complete stock without the factory name on the screen. I want to upgrade to an Android screen if possible. What are my options, if any? Do you sell them? I've got lines of information for the channel. My first choice would be possible. My first choice would be to purchase from, if possible. So you benefit from the sell the Android screen and anything you sell and the information for blah blah. Okay. Please check out our newest video. We do not sell the screen shown in this. Please check out our newest video. We do not sell the screen shown in this reel, but we have covered how to install and best use it. As for CarPlay, you have many different options. They boil down to this screen, the Tesla screen, or a traditional aftermarket radio. Not regarding this, not regarding this, not regarding this, not regarding this, not regarding this. I subscribe to the full video come out. No, sorry, not yet. Not regarding this. Now here we go. Where the video at? It's been 4 months, still no video with 4 likes. It is coming out on Super Bowl Sunday, baby. Okay, just order. Not regarding this. Not regarding this. Not regarding this. Nope, nope, nope. Here we go. Any idea when the review will come? Super Bowl Sunday. A lot of people have been waiting for this video. It just takes time. Where can I buy one? You can get it on AliExpress. The link is in the original video and our newest video. I don't know how to spell AliExpress. Don't really care about that. Hey, so I don't care about the factory name. Oh, that's for the tech package. That's for the tech package. Aftermarket radio. Nope, here we go. Is the CarPlay aspect the same as other vehicles? Or simply plug in your phone and use navigation music to your phone? Yes. This version, yes. Yes, the CarPlay interface is the same on almost all radios. This radio has wired and wireless CarPlay. I hate that like CarPlay's 2 capital letters because, you know, branding from Apple. It's I can't answer this question. I'm not sure exactly what it's for. So it's all plug and play. Yes, depending on the configuration you want to achieve, you might need to make modifications. I don't know how to spell. Okay. Yes, but depending on, okay. Those are the I think I actually spoke to that guy on the phone already. Not regarding the screen, not regarding the screen. Here you go. So it fits a regular base model. Yes, it does. It fits all 2004 to 2008 Acura TLs. Hey, thank you, man. Any updates on the reconfiguration harness? Yes, will be available on Monday. And it will be available on 2/9, let's say. 2025, baby. Okay, what an exceptional explanation. Thanks, man. Thanks. I hope that's not a troll. So I invested in it, but it's clear not as much research done to show you will subscribe with the update version. It takes time to figure it out. Yes, we are still working on getting the best setup with this screen, but check out our latest video for the most recent information. I'm still having issues with the climate control. I lost all control on those buttons for months. I don't know how to fix that. I also don't have the climate app anymore. Do you know if the owner knows how to get it back? Yes, yes, there are 2 items that are required for the actual interface of the climate. The first is that you have set the correct car in the factory settings. You have to set it as a Honda Odyssey. I don't know how to spell Odyssey, gonna be honest with you guys. 2009 to 2014 inside. You have to set it. Okay, the first is you have to set the correct car in the factory settings. You must select Honda Odyssey 2004, 2009 to 2014. Then you have to make sure that the setting within the factory setting menu is checked for display climate interface or information. These 2 settings will make it so that it does or does not show up. Thank you for making this. Thank you, sir. Not regarding the screen. Here you go. Where did you buy the unit? On AliExpress. Link is in the description. I think it's crazy that like the first thing in that video is where did I get it, how much did I pay, because this is exactly what people do. They don't watch the video, they just see the title, and man, that's a long comment. Bravo for your work. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Great first impression of the full review. So can the factory CD, alright, So can the factory radio CD tape be removed and things function fine other than questions about disconnecting battery? I'm ditching the factory make cover wireless space. Yes. This is a yes. On a 2004, 2005, or 2006 Acura TL, you can ditch the factory radio altogether and install something else down there like you want. Do the RC outputs offer both basic setup? No, the output of the screen is only front left and front right. Actually, front left, front right, and sub. It does not have rear left or rear right.